YouTube and LinkedIn. We're going to see how this goes. We're going to give it a Okay, so we are live. Hello, hello, and welcome, Kara.
Thank
And we are here to talk to you about a topic that relates to the retreat that we are hosting in Maine in October. So this is all some practices and ideas for you to you can use whether you're coming to the retreat or not. And it's a way to give you a little bit of insight, a little bit of preview into what's going to happen on retreat. So what I'd like to share, what we're going to share today is all about, are you a giver? And are you the doer? You'll get stuff done. And maybe you have the ability to get a lot of stuff done. And what you may not be great at is slowing down. What you may not be, hello to everyone who's joined. What you may not be great at is taking a beat, really taking time for yourself. So you might take time, but then you fill that time with stuff, maybe a movie, a massage, a mani-pedi, really, doing with even the time that you take for yourself. And our problem is that most of that downtime we have is either doing more things or we're buffering. And what I mean by buffering is we're using things like television, Netflix, social media, and food, and all sorts of things to avoid whatever it is we're feeling, to kind of numb ourselves from what's going on in our life. And we're not really getting the full benefit of relaxation. We're not getting the full benefit of taking time for ourselves and grounding and resetting and really tuning in to ourselves and really observing what's going on with that mental things going on. And so what we'll be going through is we're going to be talking about how to take a quick break. So for this one, I'm going to give you a practice, and then Kara's also going to go through a practice, a couple of things. And I know on Instagram, you're not going to be able to see Kara, so I'm going to do what she's doing, and you should be able to hear her. If you have any issues, just, let me know. And then we're going to figure out for the next time how to get her on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram all at once. It should be interesting. And so when you stop, when you take quiet time, and you're taking time just for you, have you taken time to just listen to your heart? To listen to nature? To listen to the messages that are coming to you from your guides, from God, from the universe, from spirit, whatever you want to refer to it as, from your higher self? Are you tuning into that? Or does everything you do have a podcast or some music behind it? Or does everything have chatter in the background? Those are the times when we are so busy with other things, that just adds to the clutter in our mind. This retreat that we're hosting in October is all about decluttering your mind and rejuvenating your soul. And so to start with, if you need a break, I want to offer you first just one little practice that you can do anytime throughout the day. And so what I want you to do is sit upright, and I'm sitting on the floor, so I can't really put my feet flat on the floor. So if you're sitting, sit upright, but not stiff. You don't want yourself to be super stiff. You want to be sitting upright so that you're, kind of pull your shoulders up and let them drop, and try not to be slouching, which I often do, but just sit upright and kind of take in a breath or two. And set a timer for anywhere from 1 to 15 minutes. If all you have is a minute in between meetings, this can be done in a minute. And really just close your eyes and listen. When a thought comes up, just notice it as if you're on a train and that thought is a tree that you're passing or a building that you're passing. And just let your breath do what it's going to do. This is a practice grounding into the present moment. And just, you might even start this practice with a question. You might ask, what message do you have for me today? Or what do I need to know right now to move forward with, whatever it is that you're working on? See if you can add at least once in the morning and once in the evening, or maybe a couple times throughout the day. This, 1 to 5 minutes even is going to be really, really powerful for you. So see if you can do that. And if you hear anything, if something comes to you, maybe write it down afterwards. Really give that a try of sitting upright. And if you're in a chair, your feet will be flat on the floor. If you're, sitting in a yoga posture, just sit upright, but not stiff. You don't want to be tense and stiff. And then really just, the whole point is to just listen, to really listen to what's, what messages. And you'll find that over time, the mind will quiet a little bit quicker. And the goal is not for your mind to be totally quiet. It never will be. We have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and it's just impossible. The point is to observe them and let them go, to just notice them, just not attach to them. That's the whole goal. And just listen to what messages spirit has for you. So that's the practice that I have to offer. Now, Kara is going to offer a practice as well. And so I know you're not going to be able to see it on Instagram. I'm going to do what she's suggesting, and hopefully you can hear her. If anybody has any trouble hearing her, I'm going to make sure my volume's turned way up. Let me know, and I'll bring the my Instagram feed closer. So I'm going to turn it over to Kara.
All right. Thanks, Dottie. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Great. So what I have to offer is something that maybe you would use if you have a slightly longer amount of time, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. It could be longer than that, but that's a good place to begin. This is actually a practice that I will use often if I'm having trouble sleeping, because there's too much going on in my mind usually. Sometimes when we take downtime and we want to unplug and we have the intention of not necessarily being busy, it takes a while for the rest of the energetic system to catch up with that. So we may have that idea, but we don't always know how to get there. It can help to give the mind something to hold on to and focus on that helps ground the rest of the body and bring us into present time. And one of the best ways I know to do that is to work through the body. So what I'll have us do, this can be done in a variety of really simple ways. Those of you who can see the setup that I have here, I've got a yoga mat on the floor, a bolster, which is just kind of a long rectangular cushion, and a cork block. You could use a book, you could use a rolled up towel, and I've made a ramp out of that. So the one end of the bolster is on the block. And if I sit with my lower back against the low end of the bolster, when I lie back, it's almost like being in a little bit of a reclining position, kind of an inclined plane from my hips to my head. This is one way of doing this practice. Two other options: sit in a chair with your feet on the floor and just rest into the back of the chair, or lie flat on your back on the floor. You don't have to have a cushion or anything fancy in order to do this. You could do this lying in your bed. So in one of those three alignments, lying back over a support, lying flat on the floor, or sitting in a chair with your feet on the ground, feel the support for the back of your body. the back of your head if it's touching something, your shoulder blades, back rim of your pelvis, any part of your legs or feet that might be in contact with the ground. And rest into, sink into, let gravity release you into that support. Your breath will come and go, and you might notice it sometimes, and then you might lose track of it sometimes, which is okay. From your supported position, you're going to begin what is sometimes referred to as an Adara point meditation. Sometimes we call this a body scan. So I'll have you start by bringing attention to the inside of your mouth. Notice the roof of your mouth and any sensation that might be present there. Feel your tongue and the floor of your mouth. If there isn't already, let there be a little bit of separation between top and bottom rows of teeth. Notice the inside of the mouth, softening, at rest. Nothing to say. Feel where the back of your head touches the cushion or the floor or maybe the back of your chair, and bring your attention to that touch point, just releasing the weight of your head into its support. Feel both shoulder blades, left side and right side, heavy, quiet. Notice the upper arms, elbows, lower arms, both wrists, the back of your hands, the palms of your hands. Feel both of your thumbs, your index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinky fingers. All 10 fingers, the palms of your hands, the 10 fingers in the entirety of each hand and wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, both shoulders. Feel the collarbones. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Feel the side ribs, left side and right side. The two hips, upper legs, both knees, lower legs. Letting your attention land in the body. Notice both ankles, the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet. Any sensation? Perhaps there's color or sound or thought or presence. Whatever is there, just notice. Bring your attention to the two big toes. And perhaps a little harder to discern, the second toes. Third toes, fourth toes, and fifth toes. All 10 toes, the soles of the feet, both feet and ankles, both legs up to the hips. Let your attention move into the lower back, the curve of the spine. Gentle, heavy, quiet. Feel the rise and fall of your abdomen as you breathe. The rise and fall of your chest. And any sensation in the space between your eyebrows. Let your attention divide itself here between the space between the eyebrows, the center of the chest, and the abdomen. The instinctive knowing of the gut, the intuitive presence of the heart, and the incisive knowledge of the intellect. Breathing in, know that you're breathing in. Follow that breath, just feel it all the way in. And breathing out, know that you're breathing out. linking together these intelligences that exist within us, letting them complement one another. And perhaps asking yourself as you lie here, what is it that I need to know right now? What is it that wants to be felt? Gently let your breathing deepen so that your next inhale is just a little longer and fuller than the one before. As your breathing deepens, allow some movement to return, maybe to your fingers or your feet. Perhaps blink your eyes. And imagine the pause that you just moved through, becoming nourishment for whatever comes next. Let your movements carry you over to one side, and you can roll over from here if you're lying down and come back to a seated position. And as you sit up, just see how you feel, keeping that sense of attention in the gut, the heart, and the head, linking these three intelligences together as you go through whatever comes next. Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. I needed that today. I hope that was helpful. We had another person join. We're just finishing up, Caroler 13 there. Just finishing up. So this is just a small snippet. So we gave you two practices. One was just a listening practice that you can go back if you weren't on right away or in the replay. It's a listening practice, just 1 to 15 minutes. If you have just a few minutes between meetings during your day or before you even get out of bed, you can practice this. Just stopping and listening and just noticing what's coming up for you. And then the other is the restorative practice. What did you refer to it as?
Usually it is most commonly referred to as a body scan, just placing the mind's attention at different points in the body.
And you called it?
I called it a Dara point meditation.
Okay, a Dara point. I love that. So we will be having practices like that in the retreat, October 19th to the 22nd. You can find a link in my bio. You can find a link in the comments. I will put it, actually, I thought I put it in the comments already of this. I will do that now. Come back here. So will be a link to the retreat there. And I keep coming to the wrong thing here. Here we go. Please join us. It's going to be a wonderful retreat. The early bird pricing goes until mid-September. And, we're going to do some practices. You're going to have some solitude. Solitude is a holiday for the soul, is what I've heard. So it's a wonderful saying that I heard. And I am really looking forward to this retreat. And I hope you'll join us. Check out the link and join Kara and I. Will also be joined by Kat, who will be doing all of the amazing food. She is a wonderful chef, a wonderful cook, and she will be creating some marvelous dishes for us. So it's perfect timing. The October retreat, it's kind of mid-October, right before the hustle and bustle of the holidays, right before kind of the craze of the end of the year, all the things that need to happen with end of year. So solitude is the soul's holiday. So give your soul a holiday, give your mind a holiday, give your body a holiday before you head into the holiday season. We look forward to spending some time with you. Thanks. Thank you, Kara.
Thank you, Dottie.
All right, I'm going to end the broadcast here. And thanks